This video is regarding my NIACL AO interview of business analyst. So it was in the month of January only, and it was in Kolkata in Dalhousie House, I guess. And I went there, and I went there 2 days ago. So then I went to Kali Ghat for her blessing, and then I went into the interview. So the first question they asked me is about my name. Since my name is Newton, so they asked me name the first book which Newton wrote. So I was not prepared for this question, and I could not answer it. Um, though I was trying to answer it in some different way, but they were not satisfied with it. And then they asked me about my father and what he does, what his role is, and I explained. Then he asked me about what I did over the last 5 years and why I did not try in private or in fact tuitions, since I am a maths graduate and according to him a maths teacher is high on demand every time. So I explained them why maths teacher eventually do not succeed, because if you are not teaching in a school you will not get tuitions. I feel that, and I answered it in this manner. So they did not seem to be satisfied. Then they asked me about any compulsory insurance. So there are 5 members, one female and 4 males. So the female asked me, and I answered her that there is a compulsory insurance. And from that, a follow-up question was asked that do I have a vehicle, and if I have, what is the name of the insurance company which I am doing in my vehicle? I answered that. And then they asked me how many products of NIACL are there. So since there are many products, but I prepared one climate insurance product, but at that moment I was unable to recall the name. And since it was my first interview after a lot of time, and I was kind of nervous and I could not recall, so it went away. Then the madam once again asked me about my local region. Since I'm from Jorhat, she asked me. So I told about Majuli and Holongapur Sanctuary. Then they asked me how will I help NICL. So I told them since I have a maths mm, graduate degree, so I tell them in this way I will help. And moreover, I was applying for business analyst, so they wanted to know. So I told them. From that, a follow-up question was asked regarding solvency ratio, since I mentioned there about solvency ratio and stakeholders. So these two questions were asked, that who are stakeholders and what is solvency ratio. So I answered them. Then they asked me about how will I use SQL tools. I answered that, but they did not seem to be satisfied, and that was my last question. And after that, it was over. It was around 7 to 8 minutes, and my interview was average. And but unfortunately, I could not see my marks how much I got, because our result was withdrawn when the final result was declared. The BA post entirely was withdrawn, and now